Australians are emerging from restrictions with increasing confidence about our economic recovery. Will the Prime Minister please outline to the House how the Morrison government is driving that confidence by delivering on our plan to secure the economy and create more jobs for Australians?
The Prime Minister.
Is like all the South Australians in the House. I'm sorry.
No, Prime Minister has a call.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I thank the member for Boothby for her question. Mr Speaker, the member for Boothby and all South Australians in this House, indeed I'm sure all Australians will be welcoming the fact that South Australia opening up today. Opening up today under the national plan, a national plan that continues to ensure we're building confidence in the reopening of Australia, a reopening that from the 1st of December will see students coming back to Australia. It will see skilled migrants, much needed in this country, coming back to Australia, particularly in South Australia, Mr Speaker. In addition to that, people and visitors coming from Singapore already and Japan and the Republic of Korea to be added to that very, very shortly on the 1st of December. Australia is opening up. Australians are looking forward. Mr Speaker, I am confident about Australia's economic future, but I am not naive, Mr Speaker, to the threats that are present in the global economy and indeed that we're confronting with here in Australia, and I know that we have to work hard to secure this economic recovery. It cannot be taken for granted, and that's why economic management has never been more important, as Australians have worked so hard through this pandemic to secure one of the lowest fatality rates in the world, one of the strongest economies coming through the pandemic, and also one of the highest rates of vaccination to protect Australians going into the post-COVID recovery phase, Mr Speaker. We must ensure we secure that economic recovery, Mr Speaker, and that's why we are the party not just of lower taxes, but lower taxes that are legislated, Mr Speaker, and in just the last 3 months, some $10 billion and more of tax relief provided and delivered to Australians, Mr Speaker, and particularly supporting small businesses with lower taxes at 25%. More jobs, Mr Speaker. There are 250,000 jobs right now out there advertised for Australians to go and get those jobs, Mr Speaker, and fire up that economic recovery that is underway. And in particular, we're seeing more women in those jobs, and we've been seeing record levels of women's economic participation in the workforce. Skills, Mr Speaker, 217,400 Australians in training right now for trade apprentices in this country. That is the highest level since 1963, Mr Speaker, before I was even born, Mr Speaker. And we are seeing more people in training for those trade apprentices now, which will be supporting our manufacturing industries, which we're also backing in. Backing in those manufacturing industries, we have 1 million people now, back on the most recent figures, working in the manufacturing industry. Under Labor, 1 in 8 manufacturing jobs went. We have turned that around with our economic policies. This is the economic recovery plan, Mr Speaker, that Australians need, that they depend on. It cannot be taken for granted. Economic management matters, Mr Speaker, and we will secure that recovery.